Why auditor is required for a company? For a company, why it is mandatory to appoint an auditor? For understanding the importance of an auditor, we need to compare proprietorship business with company form of business. In any proprietorship business, one single person will be the owner of the business. He may have employees to work, but he is the person who invests into the business and also manages the operations of the business. Here, an important point is that the proprietor is the investor and also the management, and there is no benefit to him for cheating himself or taking undue advantage of funds, as these are his funds, and whatever he manages he himself enjoys the benefit. Whereas, in a company form of business, the shareholders are the owners of the company, who have invested their funds in the share capital of the company. In a company form of business, the shareholders are the owners, whereas the business of a company is managed by different set of people, known as board of directors and the management. If shareholders and the management are same, then there is no need to do business in the form of a company until there is a specific requirement. When business is done in the form of a company, it is very important that the funds of the company should be utilized for the purpose it was intended. As the management is not the owner of the company, but manages the funds of the shareholders, it is very important for the management to maintain transparency and not to use the funds for any purpose other than intended. But there are a number of cases where the management of the companies have used the funds of the companies for their personal benefit, due to which shareholders or the owners of the company has lost their wealth. Keeping in view the above situation, if the interests of the shareholders are not protected, businesses will tend to fail, and the shareholders will no further invest into the companies. To safeguard the interest of the shareholders, there is a need for a watchdog or gatekeeper, who should be able to work without getting influenced by the management of the company and without the fear of losing his work due to reporting of any mismanagement or non-compliance of law by the management of the company. An auditor is the person who has the skills to detect any mismanagement or non-compliance. An auditor safeguards and informs the shareholders of any mismanagement or non-compliance in the company. In short, the auditors of a company inform the shareholders whether the management of the company is utilizing the funds in the way it was intended to, and whether the company has complied with all the rules and regulations applicable to the company. By understanding the work and responsibility of an auditor, it is very important that the management in no circumstances should be able to control or remove the auditor. The auditor must possess the powers to question any decision of the management if he smells anything wrong, and it should be the responsibility of the management to respond to the auditor up to the auditor's satisfaction. If the right to appoint the auditor is given to the board of directors or the management of the company, they may appoint a person who will be favorable to the management and may report only what the management accepts and approves. If the board of directors or the management appoints auditor, the entire purpose of auditing the accounts fails. Due to this reason, auditor is appointed by the members or shareholders of a company. When an auditor is appointed by the members, the auditor do not have to think about management and can do the audit independent of management interference. He is required to report to the shareholders only and not to the management. Here, the members give the power to the auditor to audit the accounts of the company prepared by the management and report whether the financial statement prepared by the management are true and fair and there are no material deviations. If the accounts prepared by the management are not true and fair, or there is a material deviation between facts and the financial statements prepared, the auditor needs to report the same in his report to the members. Based on the auditor's report, the shareholders, that is the owners of the company, if they feels that their funds are not being managed as intended, the shareholders can change the directors or the management of the company. It is very important to understand the importance of the auditor's report. Adverse remarks in auditor's report are taken very seriously by the shareholders, and the management is questioned by the shareholders in annual general meetings. The company law also recognizes the importance of the auditors and has made it mandatory for the companies to appoint auditors by the shareholders. Under Companies Act 2013, Section 139 deals with the appointment of the auditors. Mr. Chaitanya Babu, practicing company secretary from Chennai, will explain the appointment of auditors in accordance with the Section 139 of Companies Act.